It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's coming up next.
Well, the skies are clear, the sun is out, but don't be deceived. There's a big-time nip in the air on this crisp autumn day at Lincoln Financial Field. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And Hockenson going to have the Vikings first down as he'll get this up to the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That good for 22 and a first down.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Down to about the 32.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Back to throw, Darnold. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Now it's Darnold. Escaping the pressure right. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And this one is right through. So 3 points on the board. As easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The 2nd-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go. And sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Throwing is Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows 1st down. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain. So they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the 1st down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Up the middle with Barkley. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. That good for 19 and a first down. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Hurts to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Hurts. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. Is able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
Back to throw here. He'll check this one down to Gainwell. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
Oh, and that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss. This will wind up a loss on the play, and now we've got a 3rd and goal situation. Well, I think the hope is, you know, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Oh, what a juke into space. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Darnold. He lets one go deep for Addison. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Running right, Jones. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's 3rd and 6. Man in motion is Sherfield. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. This is taken at the 23. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the gun, it's Hurts. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 33. Barkley, inside handoff. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 31, Hurts. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
That one complete out to Dotson. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's second down.
Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And this brings up a 3rd and goal.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running.
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Jonathan Bullard able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. The kick by Elliott is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we're trading first half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them. Both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
So all field goals so far, 6-3 our score as the kick is away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
You've got to know as a quarterback that's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position, and he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Brown goes in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Sixth-3 is our score after one. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They're going to look to throw. Man open left side is Brown. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Barkley. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
It'll be Hurts on the option.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was onto it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. He loses a full 5 yards there on the sack, and it also brings up 4th down, 4th and goal.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the football going back to the Vikings offense.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. and that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Darnold.
That one complete to Naylor.
So the completion good for just 3. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. To throw is Darnold. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
A 39-yard punt, a return of 5.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Here's a 2nd and 5.
The slot man in motion right. Throwing again on 2nd down.
Hurts.
And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith.
And Devontae going to pick up the Eagles' 1st down as he'll get this across the 50 to the 49.
It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. Back to throw now on 1st down.
That to the sideline, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? An inside give to Jones. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick, and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Well, definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This will be spotted at the 20, so it's a 30-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Over the middle to Smith. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A handoff to Barkley on the option. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against a front that was prepared for him to try and take off.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now Hurts on the option right.
Oh, what a move. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
55 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's got Smith here. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Gets by him at the 25, and they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone, 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this 1st half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Elliott is good, and they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
And now out comes Minnesota. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down and 8.
Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try the right side with Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Darnold now to throw.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Darnold.
Into space at the 45.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
I just know defensively, when you see 3rd and long, you just tell each other, guard the sticks. Don't let them get to the 1st down line. Anything underneath will make the play. But you have to take care of all responsibilities and know that they swing it out to a back. One-on-one tackles in the open field are critical. And if you miss, sometimes you end up on the wrong side of that 1st down gain.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 2.
The give is to Jones. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. Back to throw, Darnold.
Completes this to Addison out left.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down. Now it's Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a 2nd half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
They'll set up to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. To the air again, Darnold. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
T.J. Hockenson.
A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Vikings are an extra point away from moving out in front in the final minute of the half.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts ready to take over once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Hurts fumbles it. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Hurts. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Brandon Powell deep for Minnesota.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line.
The Vikings offense had Aaron Jones headed back onto the field. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Now Darnold. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. He'll drop to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there was no way that ball was going to be caught.
A final shot before the break, Darnold. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Well, the Eagles offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the 2nd quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it.
Got a man. It's Brown. So 8 yards on the completion there, and 3rd and 1 now.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
Throwing is Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 28 yards.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Over the middle, complete.
That's Smith. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a second down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown.
Devontae Smith.
A 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Eagles have retaken a third-quarter lead. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play, partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Jones. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
106 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Now a handoff. Running left is Jones.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8.
From the 50, it's Darnold. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And all the way down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Play action. It's Darnold. Rolling to his right. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Now the toss to Jones, running right. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Now Darnold on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. This short throw caught by Goddard. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Now 2nd and 5. A handoff, Barkley running left. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. On 3rd down, Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. I guess give him credit for at least getting back to the line of scrimmage, Charles, because he could have easily lost a couple there.
He showed a lot of fight and grit on that run, and it's the type of play that coaches aren't going to wait for film session to praise. They're going to go to every position and say, that's the kind of effort we need from all of you.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
The Vikings offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying, but nothing that they have done has worked so far.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
To throw is Darnold.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because
plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
The tackle by Nakobe Dean.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
That's over the middle. He finds Naylor.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 34-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
In motion right is Addison. Here's Darnold.
And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Over the middle and complete to Addison. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Again, Darnold.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Jones will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead is up to 5. That time a 9-play drive. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. The last series form a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line.
He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. Now he's loose at the 40. Saquon Barkley.
And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line.
142 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw here. Out to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Hurts will throw.
Forced out to his left. And he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The visitors' offense has Sam Darnold headed back out there. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Darnold from the gun.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
When we talk with people about what we think the most important quality for an NFL quarterback to possess, what do people usually say?
Arm strength. And he showed the arm strength there.
Yeah, pretty good bullet pass he threw, but he wasn't accurate, was he?
No.
Listen, you like mobility, but accuracy, first and foremost, is what a quarterback needs. He didn't possess it on that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. In motion left comes Brown. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's got Smith here. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hurts.
This will be caught by Brown.
And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles 1st down as he'll take this down to the 44-yard line.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Up the middle with Barkley. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Ball on the 39. Here's a 2nd and 4.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
He'll look to throw.
Quick slant here to Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Now an option play on 2nd down.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Barkley again. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. 3rd and goal, option right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Jalen Hurts
scoring on the 2-yard keeper.
And the Eagles are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead.
Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Elliott good with a PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now it's Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Darnold. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Nolan Smith brings him down on the pass rush. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
And the slot man goes in motion left.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
This short throw caught by Goddard. Will be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Hurts.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. Takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Got a man, it's Brown. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there, just like last play.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play.
They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Eagles are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Darnold now to throw. Flushed out right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Jalen Carter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Now 3rd down and very long.
Back to throw, Darnold. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You know, in boxing, they throw in the towel. In this case, you just kind of wave the white flag, and you think to yourself, if he could just get past that initial wave, he's got a chance to get free. But that screen, it was going nowhere from the start. It forces a 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
170 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
And now out comes Minnesota.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the fourth is not going to be an easy task, but that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Another incomplete pass there. We've seen a bevy of those. This secondary, they've been pretty good, haven't they?
They certainly have. They've allowed the 1 touchdown through the air, and they're going to be upset about that later when they watch the game tape. But other than that, they've been absolutely rock solid.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Buying time to his left. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So the drive will continue. After the conversion on 4th, they'll work from the 20 on 1st down. That one complete to Naylor.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Two yards to go, 2nd down.
To throw is Darnold. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Darnold.
Finding Hockenson here on the out route.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now this likely a must-have, 3rd and goal.
Here's Darnold.
Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as he'll go for it on 4th and goal. They'll go with Jones. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown.
Aaron Jones with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. This defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
Now the try here for the extra point. And that will cut this lead down to 13. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And out now come the Eagles. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it with Barkley.
And that should do it. He's got a first down. And the Eagles, they can run it out from here.
That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Hurts down to one knee, and that should just about do it. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.